Hey folks, John with Complete Technology Solutions, your friend in the computer business. So we're all coming into the holiday season now, and I know like you guys, I'm planning on buying and probably receiving some pretty cool electronic gadgets and goodies. Well, those things have got to be powered. Well, after a company saw a review that I did just a little while ago on a product, they sent me another one telling me how much better it was. We know how this goes. Let's check it out. Yeah, power. You know, one of those things that with all these electronic toys, doodads, and gadgets, you just can't do without, right? Well, if you'll recall, not too long ago, I did a review on the solar battery pack. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll go ahead and link it up here for you. And it was great. It had a lot of power behind it. It charged up in a relatively decent amount of time. Even the trickle charge off the solar was pretty decent. But this company contacted me and said, man, we've got a huge upgrade. Now what we've got here is called an Erbic Power Bank. Now these are really inexpensive, guys, and that's what really blows my mind about this is how cheap it was. Let's take a look at this. Now, obviously on the outside here it says that it's a 28,000 milliamp hour. We all know how that goes. We're going to see how that is. But let's take a look. Okay. Well, right off the bat, if the book is right, it says 20,000. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We're not going to go too crazy about that. But in the box, it looks like we get a little micro USB charger cable. And here's the actual battery pack itself. And actually, that feels pretty darn good, guys. Now, you know, check this out. Right off the bat, as soon as it was exposed to sunlight, it started charging. And by sunlight, I just mean the lights in the room here. So let's test that theory. You see it charging. Let me cover the back. Look at that. It knows there's light, so it immediately starts charging. That's pretty cool. Now, there were a couple of other cool functions on this. The other one was just a battery pack. You guys remember that. But this one, first of all, one thing I got to tell you is this is really cute. If you look at the back of it, it actually has a compass on it. Okay, all right. We're not going to get lost, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so up here in the front is actually where the USB ports are. But before we get to that, we've got some lights on the bottom of this thing. And it looks like we've got a power switch right here. And let's hit that power switch and see what happens to the lights here. Okay, now the first click turned on the power. The second click, look at that, turns on both lights. Now we'll click it again. That's got the lights in flashy flash mode. And we'll turn one more time, and that's rapid flash mode. Sorry about the seizure there, guys. I know I'm getting one myself. And then one more click, turns it back off. Now that's pretty cool. So, right off the bat, more than just a power bank, we've got a compass built into it, we got a flashlight built into it. So you guys see where they're going with this, right? This is no longer just a power bank. It's one of those stick it in your backpack and it's a survival kind of items. But you know what? We still have to determine if it'll do what it was originally designed to do. Now, if you'll remember last time we actually tested this, we tested this using a little Raspberry Pi. And I thought to myself, well, we're going to do something a little more creative. Now, down here on my bench, you guys have probably noticed my little Commodore Mini. Now, these things are awesome. Even though the keyboard's not actually functional on it, they are super cool, and they've got pretty much every Commodore game on it, which is what makes them awesome. So, now, by the way, I did do a review on this. If you're curious, you want to see it, I'll drop a link up here to that one also, but it was pretty neat. They also have a maxi version of this, which is a full-size, fully functioning Commodore 64, but built today. And that's really neat. Hopefully I'll get one of those in here at some point in the future. They're still kind of tough to get in the country, so doing my best on that one. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to clear the stage, and then we're going to plug in this, but that's not all. We're going to play some games on this, and while this is playing, we're going to charge a phone. No, we're going to charge two phones, and we're going to do it all off the same USB port on this. Let's see if it'll do it. I'm really curious. So let me get repositioned. We'll be right back with you. All right, guys. So as you can see, I've got Stumpy pointing over to the TV here. I've got our HDMI connected into our little Commodore. And we're going to go ahead and fire this up on screen. Now what I'm going to use is, I've got one of these little adapters, the inexpensive 3-prong adapters that actually have Type-C, iPhone, and the micro USB built into one. So what we're going to do is we're going to power everything at one time and see if it still works. All right, so this one in particular uses the micro USB. So we're going to plug that in right here. And you know what? Just for giggles, let's fire it up first. Now, I will tell you that it is, when it came to us, it was actually charged. It looks like basically what I'm seeing from Stumpy here is that it's a little over 3 bars. So that's pretty good charge. All right, so we're going to test it the way it is. All right, so you pop open the front. I'll show Stumpy that. And you've got your 2 ports here for USB. And you've got your micro USB to charge it. Now, I will tell you, I looked in the instructions here. It said that both of these are putting out 5 volt, 2.1 amp. So just like last time, it would probably run a Raspberry, but it wouldn't run a B3 Plus well. So some games would be all laggy and all that. Now Pi Zero, it'd probably run for 3 days on this thing. But let's take a look and see how this goes. All right. Oh, I should probably plug in a joystick or we're not playing any games, right? All right. So I'll plug that in. If you guys are interested, you can get these things all day long for 30 or 40 bucks. They are a lot of fun. And what I did is, you know, they come preloaded with like, I don't know, it's like 50 or 60 Commodore games. But you can actually load all Commodore games onto a thumb drive, pop it into the side and play every Commodore game. That's what I like to do. So, especially since some of my favorites weren't in there and that kind of ticked me off. So, all right, so what we're going to do is let's go ahead and let's just plug this in here and see if I have to turn it on or anything or if it just works. Oh, look at that. Right off the bat, guys, it came right on. We are showing 4 bars here. Looks like our TV is coming up. Look at that. And hopefully Stumpy here will get a good view of this. And we will get some audio so you guys can hear this. Now, since this review is not actually on this Commodore, we're not going to get too crazy. One of the cool things about this is, though, is it did fire it up without a problem. Now, while we're doing that, and I don't hear any lag, audio sounds good. All right, we're going to go ahead and plug in my iPhone. And you heard that, it's now charging. And we're going to go ahead and plug in my Galaxy. And it is now charging. So at this point, what we've got going is we've got 2 devices charging and we're running the Commodore on the screen. So what we want to do is I want to test a game here. Now, a lot of these are okay. I mean, I'm not going to lie. They're not my favorite games. There's a couple of them that are really good. I like Iridium. Everybody's played that one before. But what I want to do is I want to play one of my favorite games ever. So I'm going to pop in this little disc. And you'll notice down here you've got the little gear, or excuse me, the wrench. And right next to it, it's going to populate the USB. So let me go ahead and pop this in. And you'll see that pop up here. Now this disc has got every Commodore game pretty much ever made on it. So we're going to go into there. And the way this works, and one thing that's kind of interesting about FAT32, you can only break down file sizes into 2,000 in each group. So I literally had to break this up into totally different folders by letter. So as you can probably see there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch one of my favorites, which is Mail Order Monsters. Now I don't know if you've ever played this, but it's definitely one of the classics from Commodore. All right. Once we get booted up here. Now you can set up endless lives. Psychons are basically money, essentially. You can do your cheats, everything else. Well, most Commodore games have this whenever you boot them. It gives you an opportunity to cheat effectively. So we're not going to do that, though. We're actually just going to go ahead and start the game. And here we go. And here we go, Mail Order Monsters. Now, since you don't actually have a keyboard on this, one thing that you have to do is you can bring up an on-screen keyboard. Because as you can see, you have to be able to hit F3, F5, or F7 to start, okay? So you bring on your virtual keyboard, and you can see your function keys are right down here on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're 1 player. We'll stay on beginner just because we're going to do 1. And we're going to go to F7 and start the game. Now, from here, you get to pick any dinosaur you want to. The whole goal of this game is, it's kind of endless. You are a trainer, so you pick your dinosaur or creature or whatever, you outfit them, and then you take them out into the world. Now, by the way, I'm still watching this. We are still on solid 4 bars. Hopefully you can see that over there. And nothing has changed there. Everything seems to be running. Is everything still charging? We are charging there, and we are charging there. So both phones are still charging as well. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, we're going to turn off our virtual keyboard here. Let's pick one of my favorites. Anything that flies is good. So let's just pick a pterosaur. All right, it tells you what you got: armor, muscle, speed, mind. This is for psionic attacks and, of course, the life. So there we go. And you got to type in the name of your morph. We're going to call him, let's call him, what is he, a bird? Let's call him, how about Flappy? That's a good one, right? Let's see, that works. And there. All right, here we go. So Flappy versus 3. Boy, they got creative with these names, let me tell you. All right, once again, it's still charging away here. You know what? While this is coming up, now it's asking me to press another button to start. I am going to put a little more load on this thing. Hang on here. Let's take out another one of our little third spots here. Let's pop this into the secondary port, because I'm curious to see if this is actually going to kill it or if it's going to continue running. All right, what can we charge around here? Let's charge up, let's see. All right, tell you what, let's go ahead and let's charge up the secondary wireless mic part for my lapel mic here. So we'll pop that in. And we are now charging. All right, so at this point, yes we are. At this point, we've got 4 devices that are charging on this thing. So all 4 of them are running. We're still at 4 bars. All right, so we're going to hit us a button here. All right, now, without trying to explain the concept of this game, this is the bad guy, I'm the yellow guy. The little white spots actually represent combat zones you can drag him into. You'll notice he's coming right after me. But we don't want him to come after me. We want to drag him into a combat zone, because then we can use the tank. So, he flew in there, which means now we get this tank. The concept is he's trying to beat us, and we're trying to beat him. Now, you could trick him into running over these little mushrooms occasionally. Ah, that was terrible. I'm going to go down. See how he's running? It's because he knows I'm about to shoot at him. Ah, I got him. All right. Then once you get him in here, we'll drag him over. They always run from you. Anyway, once you beat this, like he beat that, so he's going to come after me, but I'm going to try to avoid him and run him into it again. Now, I can go into direct contact with him and we can fight, but he's a little stronger than I am right now, so we have to be strategic about it. All right. Well, this is mail order monsters. As you can see, it's pretty cool. That's really not what we're here for. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to exit the game, go back into our main menu. All right, so let's go ahead and check out one of the preloaded games that I used to really like. Let's see here. Where are you? Man, I got to tell you, I've spent so much time playing all these. Paradroid. Now, this was kind of a combination of a math skill game, a circuitry building game, and then basic combat. So, and I know that sounds really strange, but the idea is you actually run a robot who starts at level 1. Now, you can press and hold your fire button, and in doing so, trade places with another robot that's on the screen, or you can shoot at them. The idea being you want to trade up in value. The more powerful you were, the higher you were in value, the more powerful your lasers were. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm trying to take him over. So what we're going to have here in a second is we're going to have a bunch of circuits, and the idea is whoever gets the most lines to the center is the winner. And as you can see, it's not looking good. Oh, I got it. So he was a 476, I'm a 1. So now I go to a 476. Now that works. Now, from that point, my firepower is quite a bit higher. So see, now I can actually shoot them. Now, you don't want to trade with anybody lower than you. The concept is to go up, obviously. And you can see they run from you when you get to this level. The idea is to clear out every single one of them on each level. And once you do, it will go dim, and you go to the next level of the ship. Once again, this is another very addictive game, guys. You can play this for days. For all those kids out there that are playing Minecraft and Fortnite and Warzone, and yeah, they missed all this good stuff. But hopefully they'll get to it someday. All right, well, that's this one. Pretty cool, right? All right, so I tell you what, let's jump out. We're going to go out of here, and I'm going to show you another one of my favorite games. We're going to go back to our stick, and we're going to go back. All right. And we're going to go to a game that I spent many days playing. All right, here we go. Once again, I used to be pretty good at this, but no promises, guys. It's been quite a few years. All right, so we got to hit F1 to start, so we got to bring up our virtual keyboard. By the way, you see, this is what we were talking about with the Commodore. It's the full-size model. You don't have to do all this virtual keyboard bounce back and forth thing. So hopefully I'll have one of those in here pretty quick. That's what I'm shooting for. Who knows? Maybe somebody out there heard my Christmas pleas. Ah. All right, here we go. So it's kind of like Bomberman, except you don't run into the spiders. All right, the idea is to get to the end of the stage. All right, so you go down, drop a bomb, get out of the way. Go down, shoot the spider. Shoot the spider. Put down the bomb. And every time you push down is when it's going to do the bomb. So you got to be real careful with that so you don't blow yourself up. Pretty cool, huh? So down, here we go, drop a bomb. There we go. Oops. Yeah, pretty awesome. All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main menu. As you can see, this has got, well, literally thousands of games if you add on this stick, which is really cool. And someday, maybe if there's enough interest, I'll do some long plays on these games, because a lot of these I could sit here for hours and play on. So, but the point was, right now we are charging 3 devices, running a full game system, and we're still at 4 on the battery. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Right here, before I end the video, I'm going to put down exactly how long it took to drain this. I'm going to leave it on overnight, and I'm going to leave a camera on it with a timer. And then tomorrow, after I get the editing done on this, we'll take a look at it, and we'll see exactly how long this lasted with this much drain on it. That's what I'm really curious about. So, yeah, that's, you know, I got to tell you, this is really cool. It looks to me like it's got about the same amount of power as the other one. And it's got flashlights, and it's got a compass, and it's charging all of these devices at one time. We didn't even go this heavy on the other one. So, at least at this point, and it feels good. It's got a good solid feel to it. So at this point, we're going thumbs up on this one. It's really awesome. Well, if I don't see you guys beforehand, have a fantastic Christmas. I had an early Christmas present that came in that is actually going to be the first video that we do after Christmas. I think you're going to get a kick out of that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully one more before Christmas. We'll see if I can get it shot. We have a trash to treasure to build, and it is going to be sweet. So they had a new case from a company that was sent in. I'd never heard of this case before, but I've certainly heard of the company. So hopefully you'll see that soon. Have a great week and a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.